Welcome back to the Alpe Adria International Motorcycle Championship, the 5th round here in Grobnik, Croatia. And before we go to the main event, the SuperBike 16-lap race, we'll go back to a footage which we recorded this morning with the gentleman in second place in the championship, the number 19, Pavel Skopek. We're here with seasoned campaigner Pavel Skopek, racing in the SuperBike Championship for Pazero Racing on the Yamaha R1, currently second in the championship. Pavel, last time out in Oschersleben, second race, you were on your way to some decent points. What went wrong?
I lose brake. I have a strange situation because Jerzek closed the throttle and I took to catch Nico Toni, who was behind Jerzek, and we crashed together. I pick up my bike, I lost 10 position. I was really fast there with the handlebars broken and blah blah blah. Yeah, and 2 laps to finish. I lose the brake. We don't know what's happened, but I go straight to the wall. I broke my ribs, and this is not good for points for whole championship, because now I losing 11 points to Karel Hanika, but we will be fight really tough to last race, and I hope I will be champion.
You're currently about 13 points behind. We're in Grobnik now. Is this track suiting your riding style?
Yes. I like this track. It's a really fast track, really fast corner. I love it. This style acceleration in the corner. Yeah, I like.
You like this kind of track. All right, so you got 4 races still to go. Karel is in the lead. So when are you going to attack him?
It doesn't matter what make Karel. I must be concentrate to my job, and I must make my best. And if I do, I will be champion.
So that was this morning, just before the qualification, and while we're looking at the bike of Ville Valtonen from Finland, racing in the authentic Yamaha colors, the only rider on Michelin tires. He went out to do some qualification, and what he promised to set out to do, he did, because he took pole position with a 127.146 just in front of his main rival, the guy, gentleman, young man, to be honest with you, because he's still a youngster, Karel Hanika. He's leading the championship at this moment with 136 points with the Fanny Guster BMW, and he took second position on the first row. Then it is Nico Toni, the Austrian, with the Racing for Fun BMW on Pirelli tires, and he had a very wonderful 127.392, so all 3 within the low 127 benchmark. Second row was for the gentleman who had been leading the practice session for a while, the Slovenian Marko Jerman for the AF Motors Ducati Racing Squad, Dunlop tires, with a 127.542. Getting through the grid because the cameraman is running all everywhere. We'll take just the order of the starting positions here with you from paper. Second row, 5th position for Renato Novosel, Croatian, also in the Ducati, was remarkably quick also in the beginning of the session. For Ville Valtonen, we just saw on the grid, he will be departing from the 6th position, second starting row. For our Austrian competitor Hannes Schaftzal, for the Ratesi Racing Team on the Kawasaki, the first Kawasaki on the grid with Pirelli tires. Then Irenos Zigora from Poland, BMW, Zigora Motorsports Team in the 8th position for our Swiss competitor Yves Lindegger on the ASR Racing Yamaha. On Dunlop tires, then we have the Polish entrance for Montaz Broz Racing Team with the Ducati V4R. Broziri, the number 66 for Vaclav Bitman from the Czech Republic as well, and he's on the Yamaha with Dunlop tires. 12th position for Gesselbauer, Gerald Gesselbauer, also from Austria on the Yamaha. Richard Balkar, 13th spot for Milos Cihak, I have to say it the right way, thank you for that. Alessandro Spinazzi, that's from Italy, of course. RF Racing on a Yamaha. 16th position for Patrick Pazzera, who has been joining us for a couple of occasions but have not been able. We have him on screen as we see the number 16, Patrick Pazzera, of course, from Pazzera Racing Team. Hopefully we'll be able to get some points starting from 16th position, close to the points, and hopefully he will do good for his own racing team. Stanislav Polak, GT2 Motorsports on the Yamaha Pirelli tires, 17th position. Alberto Caligari from Italy, and then Martin Tritscher from Austria. Joris Klosterman of Schweizerdeutsch from Switzerland, door number 464 on the BMW. Motomax Racing, Kawasaki, Knezovic and Durinek from Poland closes the 22nd position, and unfortunately we will not be welcoming back Philipp Steinmeier. He has tried, but injuries to a crash earlier on prevented him. I saw him in the paddock. He tried everything, but it was not doable despite all the efforts of the team trying to get him flexible enough to get into the bike. It was a bit too much, unfortunately. So Philipp Steinmeier, all the best to you, good luck to you, get well soon, hope to see you back in Most, but unfortunately not competing here, as well as did not start Alex Cizotto. Sounds like a meal, but how do you pronounce that?
Like
Cizotto, or is it Chisotto?
It could be.
Is it with sauce or without sauce?
I think it's Chisotto.
Chisotto, right? Sorry, he's not there, Alex.
Because actually he's Italian, I believe.
Yeah, he's Italian. That's it. What it says. But he's not there, so we can't say anything more about him. Back to the championship. We were talking about it. Karel Hanika. 2 podiums, a win, and a second position in Oschersleben, a DNF in the second race in the Pannonia Ring, a DNF in the second race in the Slovakia Ring. He was always there or thereabout, you know, with 1, 2, 3, 4 wins already to his tally, 136 points, a win and 4 podium positions for Pavel Skopek. And he told us, of course, as you heard, about the big off he had in Oschersleben with some really seriously injured while we're looking at Karel Hanika, Fanny Gastro. He's pretty young still. I think he's 23, 24, looking for endurance World Championship seats for next year, but wants to really wrap up this championship, but he's not having it easy because, of course, also his teammate Andrej Jezek is still in the fight as well with the 101 points, so 35 points behind his teammate who's leading the championship. Philipp Steinmeier, as we were talking about before, will not be defending his 4th position in the championship. Christoph Bergmann is not there as well, has only been competing in 4 races, had a DNF when he clashed together with Karel Hanika in race number 2 in the Pannonia Ring in Hungary, but had a win, a second position and another win while he was competing in the Superbike category. Well, we were talking about this earlier, of course, our current leader in the Super Stock 1000 category, tremendously fast also on the Superbike. Same motorbike, although with different specs, different tires, different mapping, different suspension settings. So, although the basic is the same, it's a different bike to ride on. Nevertheless, he's quick on both, and they're off for the warm-up lap. Seriously pushing up the throttle, bit of a trial start for some of them. And now easing down in the warm-up lap. Let's get back to the totals position. Christoph Bergmann 5th position, 6th position for Marco Jurman, who did constantly scoring points except for the first race. Seasoned campaigner, of course. He's been around for ages, but still pretty quick. For Ville Valtonen, he is the test rider for Michelin, as I said before. Team Sensitech, all the way from Finland. For Gerald Gastelbauer, 9th position for Yves Lindecker and Hannes Schaftzal. He's completing the top 10. And we're almost forgetting Nico Toni, who wasn't there the first 4 races. however, Racing for Fun from Austria is doing quite well with a podium finish in the Pannonia Ring, a 4th position and the 5th position. So good positioning for him. Nico Toni a bit unfortunate being into the fight with Pavel Skolpek, losing there some valuable points, of course, also in the second race in Oschersleben, Germany, where we were about a month ago in July. But we're here now. Mislav joining me again. And
Yes, already everything
looking
is
forward
set.
to it. I think it's going to be. You saw the you saw the physique from Pavel
Yes,
before he was entering the qualification this morning, and he's up for it.
yes. Pavel went very fast, and we just hope he doesn't crash out, because unfortunately we encountered those kinds of situations this season.
Yeah, with
So we hope that he maintains his pace and to give us a good fight between him and Hanika, and also we expect Nico Toni to be here, and don't forget Marko Jerman, who is also
still pretty quick
here at his home track.
Yeah.
He's a Slovenian. They don't have a track, but he literally grew up on Grobnik. He was winning here back in 2001 in 250 GP category, so he is well familiar with this track. Also, we saw him do good lap times yesterday, so we expect from him as well a good fight, because this is his chance in the season at his home track. Everything is set. High revving engines, and off they go. What a start from Pavel Skopek from the 1st position. Pavel Skopek immediately breaks away, and it's number 4, Nico Toni on the 2nd position. Jerman is has managed to stay on the 4th place. I believe Hanika was 3rd, yes, and Jerman is 4th.
Karel Hanika is always having trouble getting off the line in the last few races, not having a really friendly clutch on the BMW, and having difficulty to get off the line, but getting up to speed quite quickly. But a tremendous start for Pavel Skopek. A bit of clear air, and he's got his rival from Oschersleben trying to follow him, Nico Toni from Austria, also on the BMW. And the Bridgestone clad BMW, of course, from Karel Hanika. That's the Bridgestone supported team.
I have to just say that Hannes Schafzahl is on the 5th position, and 6th position is being held by Renato Novosel on his Ducati V4. Back with the leaders, it's still Pavel Skopek. Now it's a tight situation between Hanika and Toni, but Hanika cannot pass him. Jerman falling a bit back behind.
Pulling away already, the top 4 pulling away with Jerman still there, and you see the Kawasaki green of Schafzahl. Yes, bro, is it the 66, Broziri? And the 552 of Yves Lindecker, also a good start for him, departing from 9th position.
Still Skopek in the lead now. Hanika takes the 2nd position.
A beautiful internal, a beautiful line there. Has really got confidence taking that tight line into that corner.
Just to say, Skopek went off the line 1:32.8
with a standing start.
With a standing start, this is an excellent lap time.
Let's see if the difference was 0.3 of a second on the first lap. Now Hanika is in pursuit of Skopek, Pavel Skopek. Nico Toni trying to keep the wheel of Karel Hanika, see if he can get the toe, keep with him. Whole idea behind it, and then we have a replay of the start. Oh, that's dodgy in the backfield, not getting over the line. If you really stop on the line, then you got a trouble, because the other riders might be running into the back of you. Pavel Skopek really got the whole shot, and a really good start for Nico Toni from the 3rd position, slotting into 2nd. Everyone safely off the line though. First flying lap Fastest lap goes to your home favorite, Mislav Marko
Yes,
Jerman.
Marko Jerman, 127.592. He has to give it all what he has.
Still pretty fit. It looked a bit less on the line, 0.3 of a second. Now it is Karel Hanika who's on the threat from Nico Toni, and Jerman is also close by. So it's more defending for Karel Hanika than attacking at the moment. He needs to close the door because Skopek still got a few bike length in his pocket. And Marko Jerman is really pushing Nico Toni. It's just a matter of when he's going to pass him.
Yes, he has the speed.
Tighter line as well. Then a bit of a gap towards Hannes Schaftsal. Is he still holding up that whole group behind him? Lindecker, Novosel, Valtonen there.
Is this the moment when Jerman will pass? He managed to get a good uphill. Waiting for the camera in the final corner. We are with Skopek. Yes, Jerman managed to pass on the third position. He outbreaks Nico Toni, and Marko Jerman is fourth, chasing down Karel Hanika, number 98 on his BMW.
Look at that speed from the BMW.
Yes,
Sheer power
it will
on the
be
straight.
Jerman. It will be Jerman on the second position. Yes, Jerman gains speed, and Jerman goes again 127.7. He's the fastest of the leaders. Only for a couple of hundredths of a second, but still he managed to use the slipstream and the power of the Ducati and passes Hanika in the front. Can Jerman close down on Pavel Skopek? That's the main question that everybody is asking themselves, especially Sal from Dunlop. I believe he is also
jumping up and about.
Yes, on his toes, watching over the pit wall as they come down.
He's already in there. He's already closed up the gap. He's already there.
Yes, and immediately shows himself on the inner line to Pavel Skopek.
Yeah. Almost already showing a wheel. Bit too soon, difficult corner. Maybe he's going to do the repeat.
But again, he now can use the slipstream because he had a slightly faster exit than Pavel Skopek out this lower part. Yes, Jerman takes the lead. Jerman takes the lead in front of Pavel Skopek. What an outstanding performance by our local hero, Marko Jerman.
Within 1.5 laps, it was absolutely beautifully done. Well set up, and he's pulling away straight away.
Immediately, yes.
Ay.
Jerman with 126.896 fastest lap time. Clear second faster than Pavel Skopek in the last lap, ladies and gentlemen.
But also 0.7 of a second also quicker than his qualifying time, which was in the better circumstances. Okay, Skopek is not given up yet.
This is far from over, don't be fooled, but still, if Jerman manages to break away in this part of the track when they go downhill, this will be a very good position for him and possible clinching of the victory, although we have 11.5 laps to go in this race. But look at him break away.
Beautifully using every inch of the tarmac, using the full camber of the corners, going with the flow of the track. And as you said before, Mislav, he knows this by the back of his hand. You know, he's been here so many times before, and you can see that with the racing line he's doing. It's absolutely beautiful to see.
He can go with his eyes closed here, believe me.
Making full use of his track knowledge at the moment.
Yes, and he managed to pull away so much that Skopek could not use the slipstream onto the back straight.
Back again, and that's what
we had half a second in between them in the last lap over the finish line. What's the situation now? Is the advantage increasing?
It is 0.7.
It is 0.7.
Yeah.
0.7 seconds advantage for Marko Jerman.
Still within the second and the fight for the second, third, and fourth position. Nico Toni still in contention. If we were looking at his lap time, a 27.7 for Nico Toni, 27.7 for Karel Hanika, and a 27.8 for Pavel Skopek, who is having difficulties keeping the pace at the moment. So that's it's an 8-wheeler at the moment. Nevertheless, Marko Jerman is doing great, also with a 27.5, fastest guy in the main group. Then we have a bit of a gap towards Lindecker. Yamaha has been passing Hannes Schaftsal. So Yamaha in front of the Kawasaki. Then Gerald Gertzelbauer, also from Austria, now in 7th position. He gained the position towards Renato Novosel in the Ducati. Then
Yes,
Villa
Novosel.
Valtona, 9th, 10th position for Irene Sicora. That's our top 10 right now, Mislav.
Excellent. Lap times by our top 10. We are on to the back straight, going into Zagreb corner. Jerman still in the lead. Did he take, again, maybe a 1/10 of a second? It seems that he did. He manages to be faster in that lowest part of the track, and when he goes uphill, he builds up an advantage. And now Hanika is on the chase. He's now in the slipstream of Pavel Skopek, and this will be the fight for the 2nd position. Hanika or Skopek. Skopek was on the inside and manages to stay on the 2nd place, but this is a good position for Jerman, who now had 1.4 seconds advantage. He doubled his advantage in the last lap, and most surely Hanika will help him if he manages to attack Skopek again, and he most definitely will. Skopek goes a bit wide, and Hanika passes onto the 2nd position. But this was a clean overtake, and therefore Hanika did not lose any time, but now gets a bit wobbling on his front wheel.
But he's got a bit of fresh air in front of him. Might be that the Bridgestone tires took a bit of time to get up to temperature. Of course, Bridgestone known for endurance racing, different type of tire manufacturer to Dunlop and Pirelli.
Yes,
so that could be the difference. But nevertheless, look at these lap times. We'll have a look at the lap times a lap in, if Karel Hanika is able to push a little bit further. For the championship, Marco Jerman will jump in front of Christoph Bergman, who's got the same points to his tally so far, and also because of Philipp Steinmeier not competing here, will jump into 4th position straight away if he stays where he is right now. Karel Hanika first, clear air in front of him, and then let's see what his lap times is going to be. Marco Jerman, last lap, a 27.2, a 28.3.
He increases his advantage for 1 second. It was 1.5 seconds last lap, and now it's 2.5 seconds between Jerman and Hanika.
Yeah, but of course that was including the overtaking maneuver. So
yes, but you have to take into consideration that it wasn't on the braking. It was just that Skopek went wide in this corner, and Hanika just used the free space in front of him, and it was an easier overtake than if it were braking, you know. So
Skopek is still there.
And you can see the front wheel of Karel Hanika
still
moving around so much, and this is happening after he has passed in front of Skopek, which means that it was a slightly better situation when he was behind. But of course, at the end, he has to come on the 2nd position. It's very important for his championship. But look at Skopek go
beautiful exit,
uphill, beautiful exit, and now he will most definitely try to outbrake Karel Hanika.
Let's see.
They are trailing a couple of seconds behind, waiting for them.
No,
yes, it's Skopek in the front.
Well spotted, but Hanika is trying to.
Yes, Hanika is trying to climb back, but it will be very difficult. He has to outbrake him.
The slipstream. Skopek probably missed a gear or something. He was looking at his dashboard, and in the meanwhile, at that moment, Karel Hanika passed him. Something went wrong with the exit because he lost so much speed, and Hanika really drafted by.
Jerman is the last lap, 126.9, and it's Hanika 128.4, and now 4 seconds clear in between our leader Marco Jerman and Karel Hanika. What a race, ladies and gentlemen. We have been waiting a whole season for Marco Jerman to finally get a hold of his Ducati and show us his quality.
I think this is the first season on the V4 for him as well. Getting used to it. It's a brand new bike for him.
Brand new bike completely, and there was a lot of trouble with this bike, and it's a completely different bike to ride. I talked to Jerman yesterday afternoon after the practices and everything. He told me that he finally found a way to ride this bike because this bike is so much different than any other bike that he had ridden before. He had been competing on Yamaha as well here and on Aprilia, and he had been here in this category for a long time. So even an experienced rider as he has had to adapt almost 2/3 of a season. You know,
Yeah.
it took him to adapt to a completely new bike.
Even if you're such an experienced campaigner,
Yes.
sometimes with a bike such as the V4, you have to adapt your riding style to get it working, and it's not that easy every now and then. But Skopik is still in or about in the region for attacking. He's still close enough to put the wheel in front of Hanika.
Yes, for sure.
The fight's not over yet.
Back with Jerman, who now has 5.4 seconds, or had 5.4 seconds. Now it's probably a bit more. This was over the start and finish line. Off into the chicane goes Jerman. Excellent lines, perfect knowledge of the track.
Of course, it's not a coincidence, you know, for him getting this motorbike working in his own home track, of course, because then you know where the differences are. Any track with his experience could suit that experience, but you know, here in Grobnik that will make the difference. It's Nico Toni trying to do his best to follow, but not able to do so. Yves Lindecker setting his personal best lap to a 28.8, which is actually quicker than the guys in front of him. But the gap is significant, so no chance of catching up. Schafzaal, he has a nice ding-dong battle with Gestelbauer. And then we have Novosel for Villa Valtona, 9 spot, 10 spot for Brosgiri. Vaclav Bietman, 11th position. Jirinis Sikora just entered the pit lane, so he's not competing anymore. 12 spots for Milos Ciak. Patrick Pazira, we were talking about, the 14th spot. That will probably mean his first points in this championship for him. So, all right, keep his fingers crossed for Patrick Pazira.
Back with the fight for the second position between Skopik and, of course, Karl Hanika, who has the second place at the moment, but still Skopik is very close, and one fast exit from the lower part of the track on which we are getting on now as we speak will most surely launch him through the slipstream back onto the second position. Out of the chicane they go, and this is downhill, and then this fast left corner into this elbow right corner. A very tight corner indeed.
Beautiful part of the track. This is pretty curious. Well, while Pavel Skopik will have some trouble with his injured.
Yes, now again
chest.
Skopik is in a good position. He has more speed coming out of this lower part of the track. We are waiting for time too far away. Obviously, Hanika is now braking a bit more late than usual. He managed to get that sorted out because Skopik was on his tail every time they came to that final corner, also known as Zagreb corner. Of course, that is the name by the capital city of Croatia.
Well, the laps are counting down. We are, while we have some back markers really making some decent way for the leading
Yes,
pack.
that is unfortunately Irenush Sikora from Sikora Racing. Team manager has troubles with his bike, with his BMW. Back with Hanika and Skopik. Skopik now trying to give his best, but
Complete different line, getting it back and trying to get a better exit. You see the moving BMW from Karl Hanika. Absolutely not 100% comfortable.
and still look at the lap times of Marko Jerman. He is still in the low 27s, only a couple of tenths slower than his fastest lap time. And comparing that to Karl Hanika, who is riding 128.297, this is an outstanding performance by the Slovenian rider.
Yeah, a huge gap behind Nico Toni, about 10 seconds toward Hannes Schaftel, and another gap towards Gerald Gesselbauer, and then pretty close behind him. That's a fight going on there for 5th, 6th, and 7th position, so let's keep an eye on that for a while as well. Mark, it's a display. It's a display of power on his home track, that's for sure. Hanika pulled away a few bike lengths again.
And again, 27.2 was time of Marko Jerman, comparing to 128.7. Over 9.3 seconds difference between Jerman and Hanika. Now over the start and finish line. This is one of the back markers who's being will be passed and of course had been passed by Marko Jerman. Jerman into the chicane.
Yeah, all under control, just trying to bring it home. He's got another 4 laps to do so to get the full 25 point, bringing him up to probably the 4th position. Of course, we're missing Jezek here as well this weekend, so he's not defending his 101 points. So Jerman, if he continues this tomorrow, he might be even closing down in 3rd position for the championship. Seriously making some inroads here in the total point scoring position.
Jerman again over the start and finish line. His lap time again 127.3.
Yeah,
keeping his pace lap by lap every time.
And Skopek, let's have a look what he's done. A 28.3 and a 28.3
yes,
for Skopek. Hanika Skopek, almost identical lap times. 29.3 for Nico Toni, who's not able to keep pace. 4.6 seconds the difference between Skopek and Nico Toni. Then Yves Lindecker, 29.3, equal lap times towards Nico Toni, but the gap is quite significant. And then we have to wait a bit of a while. It's Renato Novosel been able to win that toss for 6th position at this moment, just in front of Gestelbauer. Hannes Chafstal now to the 8th position. Philip Alton is still 9th. And Vaclav Pittman has been able to pass Brožgiri for 10th position.
It'll be a good fight until the end, for sure.
A huge difference in time. Waiting still for the number 13 to pass start-finish line, where the other ones are already halfway the other guy. It's Patrick Pazira, just slightly in front of the number 14, the 222 of Alessandro Spinazzi. Good fight there for 13 and 14 position. So some decent points probably up for grabs for Patrick Pazira.
We have only 2 laps to go, ladies and gentlemen. Our leader, number 24 on the red Ducati, Marko Jerman, pulling away lap by lap. Well over 11 seconds is his advantage. And again, he goes now 1.3 seconds faster than Hanika and Skopek.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That's he's got his rhythm, he's got the feel of it. It just took him a couple of laps to get it done and dusted.
Look how easy it looks.
Yeah, but it's always the case, you know. If it looks easy, it's fast. It's always strange. If you hear it so many times from riders, I didn't think I was pushing. Hey, new, it's Pavel Skopek.
Skopek takes the 2nd position. What happened in that Rijeka corner? We missed that action.
Yeah, it ain't over till it's over. It looks like that Skopek has saved his tires, was able to play the waiting game, and is trying to pull away straight away from Karlo Hanika, which is good for the championship points, because the difference in points is only 13 points in total, which means that...
yes, but look at him break away. Unbelievable.
Blue flags are being shown by the marshals. Of course, no race without the marshals, and happily they are there to guide the riders on track. And then we're in the penultimate lap for Marko
we are
Jerman.
now in the final lap.
Oh yeah, the clock counted down to the number 1 position. Final lap for Marko Jerman.
Skopek.
I waited brilliantly, and he's done a great job, because look at that, 28.09 for Skopek and a 28.5 in this 0.4 of a second difference within 1 lap. Good job, Pavel. Played the game right this time, which means that we have a very, very tight and very exciting championship on our hand.
Most definitely, it will be an outstanding race tomorrow, especially when you look at the fastest lap times. So we'll have a bit of a different starting grid than we will have the race finish.
Karlo Hanika is not able to follow. He has to concede. He has to take that 3rd position. The 16 points which go to that spot will be another 4 points extra to Pavel Skopek. That means that the difference between the numbers 1 and 2 in the championship will go down to 9 points in total. Yeah, there he is, our runaway leader. Well deserved, all due to his own merit. He has pulled away by constantly lapping in the 127s. 126.8.
Victory for Marko Jerman.
Yeah, celebrating like, this is what I needed.
Yes, and again, 127.1 in his final lap, ladies and gentlemen. This will be for sure an tire burnout. Why did you change the camera?
For the numbers 2 and 3 on track, Pavel Skopek brought it home in second position for Karl Hanika in third. And while our friend Marko Jerman is showing his appreciation to the audience around the track here in Grobnik, it is finally Nico Toni in fourth position, fifth position on Yves Lindecker, and then we'll look at a fight for 6, 7, 8 position. There's that freight train. Who is going to be Vilo? Somebody else on the line, pretty close by. It is Jung Gesselbauer for Novosel, Villa van Tonen, and Schaftsal had a problem in the last lap because we missed him in the last lap. Where is he? He dropped back towards the 9th position. Good last lap also for Villa Valtana, bringing it home in 8th. Renato Novosel, 7th position, and Gerald Gesselbauer was the guy who brought it home in 6th. Now we're waiting for the numbers 12, 13 and 14. Still have to cross the line. Will it be the number 66? It is waiting. There he comes. Looking over his shoulder. It's one of the back markers not being in the way of that fight. At the end, it is Brosieri for Patrick Pazzera, Joris Klosterman, and Alessandro Spinazze. These are the point scoring positions so far. Ladies and gentlemen, that was it for the Superbikes with a splendid and outstanding performance from Marko Jerman in his, let's say, home race.
Yes, indeed. It was an outstanding performance by Jerman. Of course, Skopek and Hanika and also Nico Toni showed an outstanding performance, so did other riders. But we have to say that Jerman was untouchable today.
Yep.
And he will beat the man to beat as well tomorrow.
Absolutely. All right, that's it for today. At least for what is the Superbikes. Will come back with you with a Alpe Adria Cup race. Well, we'll be combining the 600 and the 1000, which will commence at 6:15. Hope to see you then. And for now, bye-bye, and we're back to the commercials.